All right, button issues again. Always, every week. What's up, guys? So I'm excited for this one. I'll let everybody come on in, but yeah, we're live. It's good to go. If you guys are in the chat room, drop some comments in there so we know what's going on. But welcome to Tuesday night, week 5 of quarantine for everybody. So if you guys aren't out there working, thanks for tuning in tonight. But welcome again. This is episode 30 of the Gainin Fast on Memphis podcast. It's a place where we're going to connect, definitely tonight, some melodies with some memories. And we're going to chat about some good stuff tonight. So, but we're presented once again by our good friends over at Arlo Revolution. I know the video was a little glitchy at the beginning of that show, so I do apologize for that. But check them out. Wedding films, music videos, promos, anything. Find them on Facebook at Arlo Revolution or arlorevolution.com. And once again, to all of our Patreon members and our on-screen sponsors, with Joel on the Firewire and Janet Slow Creative. So, yeah, we're cruising along, guys. We get some good numbers. What's up, Jeff? So we got all right, cool, up and running. We've been good. We had some good views. I think Ray Scott's was about a little over 15,000 views, which is unheard of, which is crazy. I still can't believe it. So, but thank you guys for tuning in every week and watching this. And yeah, we're gonna get it rolling next week. We're gonna have a really cool show. It's gonna be kind of a little 420 theme since it's the day after 420. So we're gonna have a little fun with next week's show. And the week after that, we have Jeremy Spillman coming on. We're gonna chat about his new book and kind of like his old songwriting days. I know he was part of the Sinners Like Me days with Eric Church, so we're gonna bring him on. And what's up, Jordan? Good to see you around tonight, man. My old friend Jordan Buck. He actually was a part of a few of these shows. I mean, he went out to the Throwdown show tour with me. So back in the day when Eric was on the Young and Wild tour, he had opener before my guest tonight, Ashley Ray, and she was from the exact same area where my buddy Jordan Buck was from out there in Kansas. So it's kind of cool hanging out with all of them on that tour. We're going to talk about that here soon. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring them on right now. We're just going to roll on with this show. It's going to be a fun time. Guys, Jonathan Singleton. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Dad? What you doing?
Man, this has been a long time coming, this show, I think.
Yeah, dude.
So, so let's jump right to it. You were from the Jackson, Tennessee area. So I know you weren't from actually Jackson, but a little town outside of it. Was it a little north of Jackson or?
It'd be east of Jackson. Yeah, Cedar Grove, Tennessee.
So you're closer on the northern Nashville side, because like people don't know too much about Jackson, Tennessee. It is right between Nashville and Memphis. So pretty much what do they call it? Music Highway, I think, right there, or was it 40?
Music Highway, yeah, right in between, man. We were kind of almost smack dab. Cedar Grove's almost smack in between Memphis and Nashville. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That was pretty cool.
A lot of music comes out of there, man.
Oh man, yeah, you got the Shoals. I mean, right there in northern Alabama, and then the Mississippi sound has been amazing. But you guys were kind of, I mean, back in the day, you were a blues band. I mean, that's how you started off. Was Smoking Jackets was the band, or?
Yeah,
dude. I mean, I'm telling you, like
had Smoking Jackets. We played Memphis. You know, a lot of these guys grew up playing Broadway, playing Nashville. We grew up playing Beale Street. You know.
Yeah. That's why you fit perfect with the name of the show, man.
Yeah, playing on Beale Street and playing blues stuff instead of country songs, which, you know, and Jackson was in between, man. So you had to know both, you know. Corinth is the same way, man. It's the same spot, you know.
Yeah.
It's a little more country down in there, and it just kind of all mixes up. You had to know how to do all that stuff, you know.
A lot of good music came from that area too. I mean, because everybody, you were saying, like, you hear about like Broadway playing out. There's Bill photo of Smoking Jackets right there. So if you guys can see, Jonathan's all the way on the side, and Andy Dixon is actually who I kind of first met through you, or with you. He's your bass player in your band,
right?
And he lived in Corinth with me, and his brother was the drummer for Saving Abel. And Jillian, my wife, she worked at the hospital. I remember still, she brought home the CD one time from the, I don't know, whatever the hospital was in Corinth, the name of it. She was, hey, the X-ray tech guy, he sings this band. It was Jared Weeks. That used to on Saving Abel. So I got the album, and I don't even think Addicted was on there. I think like After All was one of their biggest songs. And I kind of started just tuning into the Dixon brothers and listening to all what they were doing, man, with Blake being drummer over there. And So I know that he went on to work for like Lee Bryce and everything else after that. Blake did, but
Yeah, man, I think he's back with Saving Abel. And as a matter of fact, man, that skinny cat right there, Scotty Austin, is the new singer for Saving Abel.
oh, really?
Yeah, he's the
Nice.
singer for Saving
So
Abel.
talk
Plays a
about
lot
full
of drums.
circle.
Yeah, man. Well, there's not that many guys around town to play. You know what I mean? So it all
Yeah.
kind of. And dude, those Saving Abel guys, man, we've been playing around forever, just
Yeah.
beating it up, and so Jared and those guys, man, they had a showcase where like a showcase at Alley Galley in
Yep.
Corinth,
Yeah.
and they were
The old
like, "Hey, man,
Alley, man. That floor used to jump on that place,
yeah."
didn't it?
So they said, you know what? What do we expect, man? Well, these guys are coming out. And they're gonna watch us play, and maybe we'll get a record deal. And we were like, man, just it's probably not gonna happen for you, man. Just do the best you can, and we kind of set them up for failure, thinking there's no way these guys are getting a record deal. And the next couple of weeks they called and it was like, hey man, we got a record deal. We were like, what the is happening right now, man?
Yeah, that's when they first started off, and that's when I think Addicted came out, and it was huge.
Oh,
So
dude,
I mean, that
huge,
song, I
yeah.
mean, they did it right though, man. I think they went and marketed it through Playboy.
Yeah. Yeah, man, and dude, Jared Weeks is like for as a front man, he's
Mhm.
fantastic, dude. That they were gone for he was different than country tour, man. They were gone for 2 years, man. Like
Yeah.
gone. See you later. Don't they didn't come home, riding in the van, playing gigs, and we saw them about 2 years later at oh man, what's it called, Cannery Row up there. They came
Okay.
through and played a show, and they got us all tickets, and we went and watched it. Man, they put on a fantastic show, man. They were great, dude. That's a great band.
Saving Abel now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
now, that's
Yeah.
been
I
7
haven't
or
seen them
8
for a
years
few
ago.
years, but man,
Yeah,
their guitar player, what was that? Jason Knoll, I think their name was.
Jason
Man, this
Noel.
dude,
Yeah,
yeah, he would shred, man. He was a hell of a. But oh well, let's
my
move on
dad's
from Saving
copy.
Abel, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can talk about them forever, but yeah, that was another band that came out of the South in Corinth, Mississippi. There,
yeah,
so but you started and kind of like how did you meet Andy through where you were going to college at?
yeah, man. We all went to Northeast Mississippi. I know you know, but I'll tell you
Yeah,
like you don't, man. Northeast was man. There's not many places like it in the world, man. That we
well,
got it.
yeah, they have a really cool program there too.
Me and my brother got a full scholarship, man, for a guy who didn't even graduate high school. Like I got my GED and I went and took my SAT and ACT or whatever, and I went and tried out for campus country is what it's called. And they had you know 3 or 4 guitar players, 3 or 4 acoustic guys, a couple bass players, drummers, and we put on shows, man. And it was a school program, school funded, and they paid us to play gigs, and we learned, we woodshedded, man. We practiced 3 hours every day with the director who's named Jerry Rains, and that was all the Grove, man. That was Willie and
Mm-hmm.
Andy was in that band. Uh, Josh Smith, the
Yeah.
guy that sang background. I mean, all of us. Dustin was in there. Him and his wife were in there, and man, it was a great program, man. I can't believe it doesn't happen more often for guys like me who were like, I was either doing that or nothing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Uh, and finally, man, I was playing in the Smoking Jackets. I had the Grove. I had a couple different things going on in the counselor dude, Jerry, Mr. Rains, called me in there and he goes, hey man, what are you gonna, I was doing a commercial music degree, which doesn't really exist anywhere else in the world. It's not like you can transfer your commercial music degree. And he goes, what are you gonna do? And I said, I'm gonna play music, man. He goes, well, what are you doing now? And I was like, oh, I get it. Like I'm playing music. Like he basically told me to quit.
Oh man.
And that was the best thing that ever happened to me, man. Is like I had that kind of college. I'm not out in the real world. I'm still in college, kind of barrier, like a guard around me. And when that went away, it's like, hey, man, it's time to make something happen.
Yeah.
Which still took a long time, by the way, and a bunch of work. But like that program's great, man. Yeah, that's where I met Andy and most of those guys we play with now. We
Yeah,
didn't
it's still.
start,
I mean, it's still going strong, isn't it? I mean, I was kind of just
dude. Yeah,
browsing
it's
today.
still
I wanted
killing.
to see if I could find any pictures because you were there. Was like late '90s? It was.
Yeah, probably 90, 98
Okay.
to 2000 something.
Yeah, I was
I
kind of
think I
digging
was a
on it.
2 year. I think it was a 2 year college. I went 3.5 years. I think.
Yeah, I was digging through there and just seeing it. It was like still, I mean, well, up until all this quarantine stuff started happening, it was still going on. And it was
Yeah.
still running, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, but that was so that was kind of like a little connection we had too, because that's where my wife Jillian went to school when she got her nursing
Right.
degree from Northeast, and we
Yeah.
moved down there in I think 2005 is when we moved to Corinth.
Yeah.
And it was shortly after that because church would come and roll through there. And so you were out with the smoking jackets. I know that's where you kind of after that is when you were formed to grow, right? And that's where you kind of met Catherine, Eric's wife.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Josh was my brother. He
Mm-hmm.
was the lead singer, and I played drums in the Smoking Jacket. So
Yeah.
he met this girl from France, and he moved over to France. Man, and was playing blues with everybody, and so we kind of started playing on our own. And I think probably a couple years went past,
Mm-hmm.
and I was cutting a record with this guy in Nashville, and he was trying to be a producer. I mean, we're basically cutting demos, and he introduced me to Catherine, and the way he did it, because I might be a little bit backwards, sometimes,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really like to meet a whole lot of new people. And he said, "Well, you'll love this girl. She's from West Tennessee." And I said, "Oh, okay, cool. She's from Adamsville, Tennessee, which
Yeah.
is in between Corinth and Lexington."
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so I went and met her, and she was the first person in town that got what I was doing. It was definitely a little bit different, and it was a mixture of stuff, and there was some rock stuff and some blues stuff and some country stuff, and she just got the West Tennessee version of it. That
Oh
kind
yeah.
of circle of area. Memphis and
Yeah, because you still had
Muskogee.
more blues. It was
Yeah,
blues and rock.
yeah, North Mississippi, all those guys. So she
Yeah.
got it big time, and she was working with Dan Huff, and I remember her telling me that her boyfriend. I think the only thing they were married at that time.
No, yeah, they were just dating because I remember one time, this is the funniest story. I got a picture. I don't have it right now. I have to find it. But Jillian and I, it was like one of the Shreks were out or something. We fell asleep watching that. And Jillian's cousin, you probably know this restaurant. It's the Broken Spoke in Pickwick. And she was sitting there in church, was like right behind her, and they're having dinner with Catherine's family. And she's like,
Oh
well,
yeah,
guess who showed up at the Broken Spoke? I was like, look at that. The one restaurant we always eat at. So that's like our
that's
favorite. That was
awesome.
our place to hang out. I don't know if you ever got a chance to eat out there. But it
Yeah,
was like right by the Pickwick Dam, I think.
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, that restaurant
yeah,
was man, that was phenomenal. It was a shame
yeah,
I saw them close down.
yeah. Yeah, there was two or three versions of that. I just played out
Mm-hmm.
there. I just played out. What's it called now? It's called. Oh man, I can't believe I just played
Yeah.
there for a benefit about 2 3 months ago or something like that. Yeah,
Oh,
and
nice.
Dustin played with me, and they were off. And look at that! Look at
Yeah.
that guitar, man.
Dude, that was a nice guitar right there. That was old school.
Dude, that was
Oh,
that bar owner's guitar, and it was hanging on the wall in the back. I said, "Hey man, can I play this tonight?" He goes, "Yeah, I play. I think I played it all night long,
oh man, I wonder was that Rick's or no? That was because I know Rick's has all the guitars up on the wall, but
man." Dude, I have no idea where that's at.
I think that was probably one of the first places. What year did you meet Catherine? Do you remember?
Man, I don't. Probably 2005
Was it like 6, 7?
or six,
5?
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because that's where I was thinking. When I first discovered, or when I first started listening to church, was like 2006, like late.
yeah,
And I think it was like around 2007, he came through Rick's Cafe in
yeah.
Starkville, and I think you opened up
Probably
um,
so.
just by
Yeah,
yourself on a bar stool. And Jillian and I were there front row, like, who is this guy? I mean, just your voice, dude. Like, I know I was listening to, was it Ray's Rowdy? I think you were just talking with them, and you were talking about how you were doing demo songs. And you kept on asking, who's the guy singing? Who's the guy singing?
right.
And it was something that got me, like when I was driving home, I'm like, man, that voice is just chill.
That's awesome, man.
So, but yeah, so when you got to the gig with church, or when you first started, did you know you guys were going to go out on the road with them? Because you guys were doing what, 3 nights a week at Barley's in Jackson, right?
Man, we were doing 4 nights a week, and that was
Oh
that was
wow.
with the band, and then I was playing acoustic on Tuesday night. So I mean, yeah, we were wearing it out, man. We kind of knew we were gonna get out of there. We were
Mm-hmm.
doing, Whitney Duncan had a record deal, and she's my cousin, and we were her backup band, and then we did Brad Cotter. If you remember Brad
Yeah.
Cotter, we were his backup band, and then Ash Bowers came up, and he got a record deal, and his band kind of fell apart. So we were playing with him too. So we kind of had this thing set up where we were the backup band for everybody. So we kind of got to learn a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to see these pictures. Oh man, look at that amp! That thing's awesome, man. That's a headstrong. That's cool.
Look at that one under. Yeah, there's some good pictures I was digging up, man.
Yeah. So we kind of knew we were getting out of there, and we just had to figure out how we were going to do it. But once Catherine, me and Eric, Catherine, she's real smart, man. She's slick as she can be, and Eric is too. And Eric kind of picked up on us, man. And it was like 2 or 3 years there. We did everything they did, man.
Oh,
everything they did.
Because you were out with him right before. I think you did a couple gigs with him right before Young and Wild even kicked off.
Probably so, yeah.
Or was it maybe after it ended or something? I know you guys did Young and Wild, then you went right into Throwdown shortly after that.
Right, yeah. And then there was some in between, off and on in there. Eric's a little particular, man. If he couldn't find anybody he wanted to play with him, we kind of had to cancel whatever we were doing and go play with him, which was fine. It was easy. It was felt like family out there. We knew everybody and knew what was going on, and it still is, man. When I go, we went to Denver last year, and it still felt that way. I mean, even though it's way bigger and way more stuff going on, everybody remembers. Look at that, dude. That's crazy. Look at Ed Smoke, man.
Yeah, dude, Ed Smoke is chilling over on the side. That photo was like what, 08, 07.
Probably so, yeah.
What year was Young and Wild? Doesn't even have it. I got the poster somewhere.
Look at that hair, man.
09? Yeah, dude. Oh man, that stuff back in the day. But this picture on the left
is he's about to sing Wonderwall.
He could replace one of the brothers, man, and Oasis member. So Lori said you guys played with Eric, or probably New York City at BB King's.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we sure did, man. Yeah, we played there.
So what was I know, like, going back, so let's, I want to dig into, the Throwdown tour and talk about that for a minute. Because you knew, kind of like, when you guys went on the Throwdown tour, you knew you were done. You knew that it was, so we, you always talk about, I actually use you kind of when I have other artists as an example, because you talk about the artist thing or the songwriter thing. And you wanted to be a publisher. You wanted the publishing deal. But you kind of got, I don't want to say forced, but you kind of got pushed into the artist end of the thing, and you kind of was doing things you didn't want to do. So, I was heard that you were, it kind of caused anxiety and stuff for me doing it. I could totally see, but now going into the Throwdown tour, knowing that you were done, how fun was that? Just kind of going out with your boys.
We had a ball on that thing, man. I mean, did you go to any of those shows?
Yeah, I did a couple. So
we went out there in flip flops and shorts, man, and had everybody sit in and play with us, and we did cover songs, and we had a ball, dude. It was so much fun because we knew we were done. Like I told my guys that year. So that Throwdown, it almost took a year. I mean, it's 3 months, but it was spread out, And I told him, I was like, man, I'm done. I'm out of this thing. I'm not going to do it. I can't sit around. I felt like I felt like. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I had to be frustrated because you had multiple number ones on the radio, and you're still trying to break the top 40. You barely did. I mean, you got 38, but I can see how that's frustrating, man. And
it was frustrating, man. It really was, and you can't point at what exactly it was or what the problem was or what was going on. It didn't work, man. Yeah, I had 4 number ones. I was sleeping in a van every night. You know what I mean? And
chasing a bus.
Yeah, chasing a bus. And it just, and I love doing it, man. I love going and playing with Eric, but I mean, it kind of became like, what are we doing? And when we signed that deal, man, it really wasn't to do radio anyway. I mean, Eric's kind of, and Catherine and them's kind of version of what was happening. John Pete's Eric's manager was my manager too.
Yeah.
Like that version of it was like, well, we don't really care if we get radio support. We're gonna go build a following like Eric has done. You know what I mean? And it's gonna take years and years and years, and that was fine with me. But when we started losing, it felt, it's like we put songs out on the radio and it felt like we lost. And I was like, man, I'm not
Yeah.
in for losing. Like, I don't want to, that doesn't feel fun to me. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say defeated, but it's like, yeah, you guys, because you guys put in a lot of work. I mean,
a bunch of
you
work, man. Yeah.
got, you got the touring. I mean, you got the music video. That was fun as hell that day. I mean, I was
That
out there.
was fun, man. Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
great time. Hot as hell, but that was fun. We all got our own little cameras. I was gonna download and play it, but a couple weeks ago, I played like 40 seconds of Ships That Don't Come In, and Sony didn't like that. So I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna play
Oh,
any
they
shit.
didn't like that. Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah. They're
we were live.
serious about that.
So yeah, since I was live on Facebook, they didn't like me playing Chips That Come In. So well, hey, it's a tribute. I have to pay some respect to the guy, man.
Yeah. You got to
So
do something, man. Yeah.
all right, I mean, I didn't write this down, but this is kind of something like kind of on a personal level. How hard was it losing John Prine for a songwriter?
Oh man, yeah, that was awful, man. I mean, and not to mention, man, the year before is Don Williams, who was my neighbor, and then Mel Tillis, who was my other neighbor in the front, and it just feels like they're all just kind of going away as fast as they can,
Mm,
Uh, it's awful, man. And I tried to. I didn't really post anything, man, because I always get weird about that. It feels like I'm
yeah,
taking advantage of the situation or something like that. But I spent a couple days just kind of listening and getting in the Polaris, man, and riding around and keep John
yeah.
Prine on for a couple days. And
That's
God,
what
dude,
it's
at
like
least you
so
ran
much.
through. I bet I ran through 20 versions of uh, I am an old woman. What's the name of that song? Uh,
Man, you had me stumped.
yeah, I mean,
So,
everybody had done that song. Bonnie
oh yeah,
Raitt has had huge. Angel from Montgomery. I'm
yeah,
sorry, I'm horrible with song titles. Yeah, but oh man, it's been done 1,000 times by 1,000 different people, and just kind of went down that rabbit hole. But you know what, man? I mean, for songwriters like what we're doing every day, it's like, man, his music is going on and on and on,
yeah.
man. Like that's the thing that feels good about it. Like I know we lost the guy, but it's not like we were hanging out. We still get to listen to his music all the time, and that's
Yeah.
amazing, man. That's the gift of it.
And that's it. It's so amazing because music will always live on. Music lives
Yeah.
on long after you. It's like your legacy. I mean, the songs, especially, I mean, in your shoes, man, the legacy you're leaving behind. I mean, for just your kids, man, to say that was my dad that had these songs is amazing. And I mean, did
Yeah.
you ever? I mean, no one ever dreamed to have these number one hits, but like when you first wrote "Watching Airplanes," it first came off. Did you say that's gonna be my first number one? Or that just felt? Did that just feel good?
Oh
Like after you
man.
were done writing that song?
Well, I mean, there's such a giant amount of fear that came with all that stuff too, man, and imposter syndrome and everything else. Where you think, well, I've tricked everybody, and I still feel that way. If I didn't, I feel like I'd be an asshole. Like, but I think we all kind of feel that way. But when you finally do hear it on the radio, everybody tries to be cool. It's like, oh yeah, whatever, a song on the radio. But dude, when you're by yourself and that thing comes on the radio, dude, you
Oh
lose
yeah.
your mind, man. It's like it's the craziest thing ever. That's my song, and that's that guy getting
Where
us
were you the
Gary
first time
Allen
you heard
singing my song. Do what
you
now?
remember the first time you heard Airplanes on the radio? Where
Oh
were
yeah,
you?
man. I remember for sure, man. Look at Gary just being tough over there, man. Uh, Yeah, we were actually moved. I stayed in Jackson as long as I could. I didn't know what I had as an artist or a songwriter, but I did know that what I had I built in Jackson and in our little
Yeah.
hometown, and so I wanted to stay as long as I could instead of moving to Nashville and
Well,
becoming
I do
and becoming
commuting.
whatever that was. Say what?
Like, I think you were commuting for the longest time to
Oh man, it
Nashville,
was
from like the Jackson area.
Yeah, it
And
was
that was
like
like a
2.5
2 hour
years.
drive, right?
I drove back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and I would sleep on couches when I got here. But my wife wanted to go to Old Moore, which is in Franklin, as a graphic design school. And she wanted to go there. So she just signed herself up. And then she told me that we were moving. So
Nice.
when we were moving our stuff out of our little apartment in Jackson, that was the first time I heard Watching Airplanes on the radio. We were getting the last of our stuff out of that apartment.
It could be more perfect, dude.
And that's when it came on the radio. Yeah, dude. And I had no idea that was my first cut. That was my first hold. That was my first single and my first #1 too, man. It was crazy, man. My life changed in every way. And you're just trying to hold on and be the same guy, you know. And I've tried to do that this whole time and just maintain whatever it was that got me there, and just kind of not get too smart about it, and not think about it too much, and not know too much, and just know when something's good. That's it. And I just followed my gut the whole time, and just tried to stay true to whatever that was that got me there in the first place. This little girl that Josie that Jim Beavers is holding right now is a grown up right now.
Well, that had to be
That's wild, dude.
13 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, she has to be 18, 19 now.
Yeah, she's a grown up now. That's wild, man.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
But so yeah, you went into that with you had 4. So you had Watch Airplanes, Don't, Why Don't We Just Dance? What was the other? There was
Red Light? Was it Red Light?
Yeah, Red Light. Yeah, Red Light was the other one. So now, when it comes to songs, and another artist will take your song. Do you ever have a song where it's interpreted the wrong way? Like where you wrote it like one way, but you think that maybe they kind of twisted and anything like that?
Man, it just depends on if you're looking at it like a songwriter or you're looking at it like an artist, you know.
Okay.
From
I know, like for us, we can interpret songs so many different ways. Like songs can hit us in different ways for a fan. So I just wanted to see like from the songwriter point, like when they get it. From
a songwriter perspective, man, the way I like to hear a song that I wrote is on the radio. You know, I mean, however we get it there, man. I mean, those guys and hey, man, I've got a pretty good idea on what it takes to make an artist, and it ain't easy, man. So when their interpretation of my song comes on the radio, then I appreciate that, because I know the work they've put in to get it there.
You say it ain't easy, but we're gonna in a little bit we're gonna talk about something that you made it look really fucking easy. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure everybody else will talk about. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but you say it's not easy, but man, come on.
Well, it depends on how good you are, I guess. Yeah. Depends on how good you are.
Yeah. But man, honestly, ever since like 07, a lot of things that you've been touching, man, has turned up roses and gold. It's been awesome just to see the success that you've achieved, because I've seen how hard you've worked out of Jackson. I mean, out of those bars, and seeing you guys and going to see those little shows. And I was gonna try to put some videos up. I just don't want to repeat at all, because I'm having a good time talking with you. And I fear if I put something up, I might do it. But I'm gonna post some videos on my page over the next couple of days, guys. And just some old clips and stuff of let's see. I'm gonna see if I can do some of back in those days. But
yeah, man. Well, dude, I appreciate that, and I know too, man. I mean, you guys and y'all's group of friends and whatever you call them that come out and have been coming out for, dude, how long is that? How long have we known each other, man? It's been.
Well, I started running. I mean, I got introduced to church in 06, and then I think I'm probably met you. I had to be 07, 08.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at 12, 13 years at kind of like where we first started, when you started with the Young and Wild tour, because there was a group of us. I know Lori, she's been on the show before. Last week we had Devin Bragg, and they were huge fans of you guys and big supporters. Yeah. My buddy RJ down in Florida, I know it was always, let's see, I think this video actually might work. So this might be one of their videos. Let's see. Volume's a little low, but it's probably 08. There's Dustin. So yeah, that'd be too hard to play videos. I try to play videos, but then I stream this, so if someone's listening to streaming in 3 days, they're gonna be like, "Well, I can't see your video, dude." So I try to stay away from them too. So that's why I was posting them on my page. So, but if you guys get bored, go down a rabbit hole of 08, 09 videos of you. You guys we used to post like vlogs or whatever, like back in the day
We
from
used
the
to what?
bus. Like post like vlogs and stuff from the bus and just
Oh yeah,
random stuff.
yeah.
So
I'm definitely not good at sitting still, man. I always got to have something to do. So we had all that time in the van, man. And I mean,
yeah,
time upon time upon time, and then just like going towards the 1 hour that we enjoyed in the afternoons. And so we started doing those videos, man. I learned how to do iMovie, and they're not great, but they're
oh
funny,
yeah, they're
you know.
fun.
And it's just
They're
kind of like a little, I guess they immediately turn those into a kind of social media thing. But we were just doing
yeah.
it for fun, man. We wanted everybody to go along with us, like to ride in the van with us and see what it was like and see what we were talking about.
I'll
And
share a link for everybody here in a little bit, but you guys gotta go and watch this one. You guys did like a hotel crib. So you played a casino in Iowa, I think you were talking about, and all you
Iowa,
guys got
yeah,
themed like hotel rooms or something.
dude, we showed up. And it was a cool gig. It was some kind of racetrack, like horse racetrack or something like
Yeah.
that. And so when we get there, she goes, well, hey, a nice surprise for y'all. We have themed rooms. Which room would you like? So we all kind of get to go through and pick. And dude, it was funny, man. It was interesting. It was a pretty wild little weekend. So we decided to do a cribs episode, which was big in the 2000, early
Yeah.
2000s, and on everybody's room. It was interesting, man. JD's real funny in that one, man. He's
Well,
funny.
in every room you go to, Dustin's in a hot tub or a bathtub. Every room you go to, like I pulled the video. I have it, but I just don't want to. I don't want to mess with. I don't know if I can. It's like an 8-minute video. Like we'll deal with that. I'll post it later. But it was just hilarious because you guys are going like one was like a safari room, and Andy's like, I got the feminine one that has vineyards and
Oh yeah,
grapes
it
along the
was the
wall.
vineyard room. Hey,
Yeah.
look at this. Let me show you something. Let me find it. Where's this at? Look at this guy.
Oh man, look at that.
Come on, same
That's
guitar,
the same
man.
one
Look.
right there. Look at
Yeah,
that.
that's it.
A
And
little
that's my
more wear and
lady right
tear.
there. I love that one.
Yeah. I was gonna say you played that one a lot, man. That was one that you played a lot back in the day.
Yeah, that
Other
was
than
pretty much the only one I had at that time, man. I might have had a couple more guitars, but that's always been the one, man. I love that thing. Uh, the
Lori's talking
Firehouse
about her
Saloon
official meet and greet was Firehouse Saloon in Houston.
in
What was
Houston.
do you have like a favorite memory from the Young and Wild tour at all? Like a favorite tour, favorite show you guys might did?
I'm trying to think, man. Uh, what was that? It wasn't the Young and Wild tour. There was one place that we played, like this steakhouse. I can't remember where it was,
New
but
Jersey had one. It had a steakhouse, I think.
there was a steakhouse. Oh, I've got a couple, as a matter of fact. I do have a couple that were really nice. But this steakhouse, man, it was like everybody was eating dinner, and we were
Mm-hmm.
in the corner of the thing, and Eric couldn't set all his stuff up, so we definitely couldn't set all of our stuff up because the stage was too small. And I just remember thinking, man, we're sitting here playing in this steakhouse, man, and this guy's gonna be huge in 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, this is unbelievable, and nobody really was paying that much attention. But, that we did play BB King's. We play. I remember the Lyric Theater in where's that
Oxford.
at? In
Oxford.
Oxford,
Yeah.
yes.
That's
Lyric
one of
Theater in
my favorite
Oxford was an
ones
awesome
too.
show. And what's the one in Texas, man? Uh,
Billy Bob's? No.
we played Billy Bob's.
Yeah.
Was it Billy Bob's that we played?
I don't
Yes,
know.
that's the
I don't
big
know if you
one.
guys.
That's a huge place, right? It's so
Yeah,
big you can't even
they make
get through
everybody
it.
sit down there.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
that was
always.
pretty cool, man. But they're not huge. They're not huge Eric Church fans in Texas. I bet they are now, aren't they? Are they now?
Oh yeah, I mean, we went to where he played the Woodlands Amphitheater. So a couple years ago, a bunch of us went out there for that. Yeah, Lori just said in the chat, I saw the Lyric was wild. Lyric was a fun show.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. The Lyric was great, man, because
I
everybody
was
we were so
going. I don't
close
know
to
if this
home.
photo,
We knew a
this
bunch of
photo might
people
be
that were
from.
there and stuff.
No, I don't know if that's
That's
from
a
the
cool
Lyric.
picture.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that one. I was going through some of my old ones. I had some pictures from the Lyric, but I don't think I grabbed anyone because they had that wild staircase like behind the drummer.
Yeah.
You remember that spiral staircase that go up to like the second floor, like random on the stage there at the bar?
Yeah.
That place is just the wildest thing. Because I remember we had to cut through like after a meet or something. We cut through on the stage and we had to come down. I think Justin actually walked us off the stage. Justin was always a wild one, man. You picked one
Oh
hell of
yeah.
a band. I mean, all those guys are so damn talented, and now they're spread out. I mean, we just talked. Dustin's with Luke right now. He's playing
Yeah.
guitar, and
Yeah.
then Will and Sam's out with church.
Yeah.
So Sam's Eric's change manager now, so which is
Yeah.
phenomenal gig. And you guys all
Yeah.
met on the same tour, so it was really cool that everything came together like that.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. I mean, those are awesome, great times, man. And when I look back at them now, wish I could have enjoyed it more,
Yeah,
Uh, but man, I was just kind of riddled with, dude, I had, we've had that conversation. I had horrible anxiety about what was
yeah,
going
yeah.
on and what I was doing with my career and my music. And man, that's all you got in your soul is your music and what you think you're gonna grow up from a kid to make your record. And I didn't feel like I made that record, and
Mm-mm.
I didn't really feel like I was, our live show. I was always happy with, man. I love those guys, man. And when we play,
Oh, you guys
I,
put on a killer show, man. I
I
mean,
have a
Build in a
I have a
Storm.
ball playing with them, but
Yeah,
everything else just kind of felt like a sham a little bit. You know what I mean? And nothing against anybody, man. It was my fault. I was young and I didn't know when to say no. And I,
but it felt like one of those forced deals. Like they talk about, like they say, what the big record execs come in and tell people to wear rhinestones and cowboy hat, you'll fit the
yeah,
bill just fine. It was kind of like they were kind of not making you, but like forcing you to be somebody you didn't want to be.
yeah, it was
And
more and more of that all the time. It was like fix this and dress this up and do this and maybe this song and
yeah,
which was fine. I mean that's how it goes, and I do that for a living now. I tell people that, and I make suggestions to people,
yep,
but I also know what it feels like to be the artist too, which makes a big difference, man. And when you rub up against their soul, man, their music, their thing that they've created, and that's their whole life, man. It's that's a scary situation, man, to be in as a kid. I mean, I
yeah,
wasn't really a kid. I was 30, 27, 28, 29, 30, something like that. But man, how do you say no to that? Man,
yeah,
I ain't never had nothing in my whole life, man. And hey, you want a record deal? Yeah, I want a record deal.
yeah. Especially
Well,
from West Tennessee out there. I mean that's kind of make my town proud. I just won the Nashville got a record deal. I mean, it's
yeah,
phenomenal. I mean, hell yeah.
yeah,
I mean, some of the I mean, still to this day, something to brag about, man. It's not like
yeah.
the Tiger King. It's 2 pages in the paper or anything. Have you had a chance to watch that yet? Which is crazy. I don't
What
know if
is
you
it
watched
again?
that Tiger King show on Netflix.
Oh
It's
yeah, I've seen
wild,
it. I've
man.
seen it. There's a
Don't
new
do that. I
episode
say
on
if
it.
you haven't watched it, don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't
I
be
sat
such
down and
into
watched
that.
it, man. I did. I got into it. We didn't have anything else to do. It's not even watching the kids.
I do want to give you a cool shout out real quick though for that video you did with your brother on Sunday, man. That was perfect, dude. It's Easter Sunday to
Oh,
have that to watch with our families. I saw a lot of people sharing it, a lot of
that's
people
awesome,
talking
man.
about it. It was really cool for something to have since everybody is home quarantined right now. It was kind of
Yeah,
something to have to kind of watch and just to have a whole good gospel song, man, and especially on Easter
that's
Sunday.
awesome.
So really,
Yeah,
thank you
man.
for that. So you got
Yeah, absolutely. We love doing those, man. We grew up singing those. My dad preaching and stuff, and of course we didn't have guitars because we were Church of Christ, but we
yeah.
added that. We added that on after. But
He found the
man,
guitar. Yeah.
he's fantastic, man. He's great, and we did those. Oh, it's been years ago, man. We did a group. We did like a batch of those songs, not like an EP. I think it was so long ago. It was a tape actually. And man, they have played at so many funerals, man, and like all these things. So we kind of quit doing it because it was like, oh man, we're the funeral band now.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
But man, it's so much fun, and he's so good, man. I love hearing him sing. Anytime he opens his mouth, man. He's such a great singer, man. I
I'm
love
sure he
sitting
says
down.
the same thing about you too, right back. No.
Well, I don't know. He no, I think he probably knows he's better than me, man. That's all right.
That's why is he the older brother?
He's older than me. Yeah, he's 2 years
All
older than me. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, man. He when we were kids, man. He just picked stuff up. I had to work pretty hard, man. I
Yeah.
woodshedded. I tried. I practiced guitars and stuff. Man, he could just do stuff, man. He went one weekend to sell fireworks during like 4th of July, and
Hmm.
he took his harmonica with him just to because he wasn't going to have anything to do. When he came back, man, he was that good on harmonica. Like he just learn to play it. Like he just figures it out.
Yeah.
It's just super natural to him, man. Everything's natural to him
I always wanted to play with harmonica. I was like, that'd be so much
man. Me too,
fun.
man. I don't think I hadn't tried it a million times because he's so good at it. I was like, oh, it's got to be easy, dude. That thing's impossible. I don't even know what's happening. It
Oh
makes
no,
no sense to me.
I bought a couple for my kids when I was in Nashville last time. They'll walk around the house playing, and I'm like, y'all just have fun, try to learn it, but it ain't gonna happen.
No, it's not for me, man. Not for me.
So after the whole throwdown thing ended and you kind of moved on, your first your first big gig after that was with Big Machine, right? You were running with them for a while.
Yeah, I mean, well, so oh god, it's such a long story, man. There's 14 years total in all of that stuff as far as
Yeah.
publishing deals. So from the thing Catherine was a part of, Blasting Game
Wasn't it Diver
was
Hands or something?
Diver Dan music, and then Diver Dan music became Crosstown, and then Crosstown sold to BMG, and then BMG is what it is now.
Yeah.
Catherine left pretty quick uh, after I got there. I think it was 4 or 5 months. Me and her worked together, and she left pretty quick after that. But then BMG was there, and then Big Machine. Yeah, so Big Machine was my last 7 or 8 years, I think, in songwriting. Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
that's kind of where you kind of got hooked up with Tucker. I mean, I had a rock Tucker shirt tonight, but
Oh
is
yeah,
that where
man.
you first met him, or?
Yeah, man. No, man. He signed over there, and I knew Casey.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love this
I,
photo, dude.
yeah, I knew Casey, and me and Casey wrote a bunch, and Casey knew I was kind of doing,
Yeah.
something different and trying to make, make some kind of rocky kind of country music stuff, and so he hooked me and Tucker up, and then through all of that stuff, Big Machine got involved, and they signed him,
Yeah.
and
And they signed Tucker young, didn't they?
oh yeah, man, he was 18 or 19.
That's what I thought. I thought they
Dude,
signed
I'll tell
him
you what it
really.
was. He had a scholarship to go play
Yeah.
baseball at Murfreesboro or somewhere. I can't remember where it was. And he turned down the scholarship and
In
signed with.
'94, dude. In '94.
Yeah,
He was talking
yeah,
about. He was on the show probably about a month ago. He was talking about that.
yeah,
He threw out his arm or something like at like at around that time. Anyways, he's like the night before I was called up to coach and said, "Hey, dude, I'm done." I'm like,
yeah.
no one does that. He had
It's
like
crazy,
full
man.
ride he was saying too.
Dude, those Bethard kids, man. They're. Oh, did you get another one?
No, that's the old one. So that's
That's
the
the
part
old
I
one. Oh yeah,
contacted.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So writing that song, I mean, 'cause that's like I was talking with Tucker. Probably like hell is like an anthem song. You had a part of that song. When you were done, did you like know that was gonna be such an anthem for like this fan club?
What song did you say?
Probably like hell.
Oh no, man. I mean, I thought so. I mean, no, I didn't know, man. I mean, we was always just trying to write the best version of the song that we can write,
Yeah.
especially when Tucker's sitting in front of me. He's such a good guy, dude. And
Have
he's
you
so
heard?
passionate
Have you heard
about
anybody
music.
write like him before? Like,
No,
have you ever
oh
heard
no,
about
dude.
anybody?
It's he's completely different than
Oh,
than
yeah.
everybody else, man.
Yeah.
There is no, but I mean, he's just a little strange enough, man, and I happen to be a little bit strange too. So we hit it off pretty good, man. Uh, uh, just kind of musicality. Like I thought I knew what he was trying to do. And in my mind, I thought, and I still think, man, if I was a 14-year-old kid and
Mhm.
I saw Tucker Bethard on country radio or country music television, if there's such a thing anymore, I don't even know. But like, if I saw that, it would change my life, man. Because
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing Kurt Cobain on MTV and going,
Oh
oh
yeah.
shit, like
Yep.
what is happening here? I just felt like that's kind of what Tucker was doing, man. I mean,
He was almost a rebel coming into the country music world in a way, and
yeah,
really felt that. I think that's what kind of. Not, I mean, I knew who his dad was, and that's kind of how I met Tucker when he was really young,
yeah,
and really started getting to know the guy back then. And just but seeing, but then hearing his songwriting style, I was just like, I'm not hearing anybody that's writing with such like truth, like this like teenage angst that he was putting into these lyrics.
yeah,
And like I knew he was a big like punk Blink-182 fan, but you could hear that kind of style, and it was like you were saying, it was kind of what some of us needed at that time. Like some of those lyrics, like he has one "Find Me Here" that we were talking about. This is a phenomenal song that he does.
yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
you
man, and
had
that whole time we were kind of working together and doing that and doing all that stuff. People goes, I don't know, man, is that country music? And I was be like, hey, man, everybody in town's been sitting here asking for something different, man. And
yeah,
here is different right in front of you.
yep.
And if you even if you don't like his version of different, you gotta get on board, man, just to have something different.
It is, and it was completely different. Now, maybe Rock On kind of fit the mold more that of the country music make poppy song on the radio.
Sure, man, and he
Maybe
had
because
to,
they
and I and
beat,
I
but
and I think I know he loved that song. It's a
yeah,
great song, and it's a great
amazing.
version of a
Yeah,
country song. But it was also to him, I think, kind of a means to an end. Like, let me do this, and let me do a couple more of these things, and then I can
yeah.
do what I want to
So,
do.
too.
That's
And he
what we're
number
all
two.
doing, man. We're just waiting on our shot to do what we really want to do. Nothing against Rock On. I love that song. I think
Yeah,
it's great, and I loved it from day one.
yep,
I also thought it was a nice jumping springboard for his other stuff.
yeah.
Like Fight Like Hell and Faithful and all those things like that. They were such great, heavy kind of songs, man. Uh, Look at me. That's Luke.
Yeah.
I just saw that. I remember that night. Yeah, that's
So,
awesome, man.
but now having a hand, you helped write Brother, the song Brother now, and now with everything that's gone
Yeah,
on with him, I mean, kind of
yeah,
that's like it's home even more for him now. It's just really crazy because I mean, you would never imagine to go through the Christmas holiday like that.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's
definitely was
awesome.
yeah, it was definitely a hole over here, just kind of like thinking about that. But that's like the song now that I hope that he kind of, I know when he hits that live shows again, he gets out playing again. I mean, he plays that song, it's gonna become like meaningful and just kind of like the sinners like me was to church too.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that thing will stick around for a long time, and it's universal. I mean, I know it's very personal to what to his version of his
yeah,
relationship with his brothers. But me and Dan Isbell wrote that too, and we both had brothers too, and we made a point to like, well, man, that's a little too personal. Like you want it to be universal for everybody.
yeah,
And also, man, in that song too, man, brother ain't really blood brother. I mean, it's brother like you
right,
know, you're my
right,
brother.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a friend or blood or not brother, it's just someone that you consider a brother to you. And it's like someone that's going to be
Absolutely, man.
there, have your back, stick around.
Yeah,
So
I
it is
do.
a
I
perfect
do
other
remember.
song.
I remember that day pretty clear, man. A lot of times I don't, but I remember that one pretty clear because I thought I was glad to be in the room that day, man. When and Tucker, man, Tucker always had some kind of like weird guitar riff thing is kind of where we started. Like a
Yep.
lot of times, as songwriters, we have a hook or it's like, man, that feels like a radio hit. That
Yeah.
feels like a radio hit melody. We should put those two things together. And Tucker's the opposite, man. It's like either he's in it or he's not in it. And if you start trying to maneuver him towards a thing, which is kind of what I was, you know, tasked to do a little bit, is to write Tucker some radio hit songs,
Yeah.
and man, that ain't what he wants to do, man. It just ain't what he wants to do. So
Exactly, and I saw like a theme even like with you. I mean, like going back with I don't think Tucker is really comfortable playing in bar bands, and I was like, you guys or not bar bands but bars, and you guys love that. I mean, when the Grove, like out there, you guys jammed. It was like it was man, well, it wasn't Southern rock. It was just straight up Memphis blues, dude. You guys just jammed it because you would go into Josh would go into what Superstition Minds or whatever, like an Elvis song, and then you guys would have
yeah,
melodies and just it
oh
just
yeah,
showcase all your talents because every one of you had a different talent that was just phenomenal, and that's why
Yeah,
it made the groove such a the groove, right? That's like
the
I always
groove. Yeah, the groove.
we got
Yeah.
the groove. How many times did that happen back then? You guys were
Oh,
done
this
with the
every
groove.
just about every time we played, it still happens, man. It still happens. People say that seriously now. Oh yeah, we just had that band, The Groove. It's like, yeah, that was it. Whatever, man. Yeah.
Yeah, Lord, you guys still? I mean, I know I saw you guys play a couple years ago down in Jackson. You guys still get together and jam anymore? Or?
We do every now and then, man. We kind of work on some stuff here and there, and I'm gonna do a project here soon. I think, man. I'll probably do something just for fun
Yeah,
and because I'm in a situation now where I can do it myself instead of having to depend on somebody else and uh and we do, man. And when we do, me and JD and Andy played the other day, man. We're kind of working on this little weirdo kind of project thing and
nice.
just doing fun stuff, man, because we can. And
Exactly.
Andy's not far from moving to Nashville. His daughter's gonna be she'll be
Yeah,
graduating here pretty soon, so he's gonna move to Nashville. And Willie and Sambo were up here in Ashen City. They got a little shop here in Ashen City, and
yeah.
so it seems like everybody's getting closer. I'm gonna get Dustin up here real soon, man. I'm gonna make it.
Oh, I mean, you got him out with Luke now. He's definitely gonna be coming up soon.
Yeah, he's gonna move. He's gonna move soon enough. Yeah. So we still do play, man. And I've got out here in my barn. I've got a little a PA set up with some drums and bass, guitars, and we can just walk in and start playing.
Nice.
And excuse me. And that's kind of what I enjoy doing, man. I'd rather do it that way than do it in front of people anyway.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
don't.
for sure. I mean, 'cause, yeah, you guys have, even when I came down with this picture here was the last time I got to see the Grove together. It was Natural Sound. That's when the night I met Skylar too for the first time. You
Oh
had
yeah, that was
Skylar open up for you.
in Jackson.
Or yeah, Jackson. Yeah, I said Natural
Yeah,
Sound.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, you guys did that like a charity thing. It was right after around Thanksgiving time, I think. It was
Okay,
like it was right after Thanksgiving one year. You guys did that. We all
that's
came
right.
down and saw that show. So that
Yeah,
was a jam, man. I was hoping for some more old school Grove tunes. You kind of went more of the songwriting route, which was cool. But I was like, man, I want to hear these old tunes again.
yeah.
God, I sucker for like Storms, man. I love that song. That was a
Oh,
jam.
I do too, man. I hadn't played that in forever, man. I don't know if I would even remember it.
Well, that it got into a video game too, right? So when I was
Yeah, I forget what
researching
video
here,
game it was, but I know I got paid for it. I remember that day.
you should still be getting here. This cover Silent Hill
Oh,
Downpour.
Silent Hill, yeah.
Yeah, it
They
was like the
said
credits or something.
it was at the end. Yeah, when you finish the game, that's the song that played. So it was a big deal in that game. I've never played that, man. Is that cool?
I don't know. I never played it either. I was just looking at videos on YouTube.
It's like a horror movie game or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. There, I played the old school like PlayStation one, and it was like a horror movie type thing. It
Yeah.
was fun. It was a
I need
good
to get
game.
that. I need to get that game. I don't even have that.
Yeah, I don't even know what this was for. I was kind of doing some research and saw that, and I was like, hey, I'll steal a photo of it. But I was
Yeah.
trying to get the video of like the actual credit so I could play it.
Yeah.
So I know we're running tight on time, but we'll probably, I mean, we could be here for hours. I got so much. I want to jump ahead real quick to actually, let me see if I can throw this video up. Let's see. So after the whole, we were, you're done with Big Machine, right? You're with the new
Yeah.
company?
Yeah.
Okay.
50 egg. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
after that, you kind of moved into the 58 world. And
Right.
how did that go about, man? I mean, I know you and Luke and Tally all run that together now, but
Yeah.
run it out.
So yeah, Tally was helping me. We were in Big Machine, but there was like a big room, and then it was me and Tally in the back of the thing, and man, she's just so talented, man. As far as like artist relationship, like she knows
Yeah.
how to talk to artists and how to talk to creative people and weird people and stuff, and make them feel normal and smart like she is, and I appreciated that about her, man. And I just thought, if I could get her to help me kind of just run things for me and just let me figure out who, this guy's great. Let's figure out a way to make it work. And Luke was the first one of those guys that me and Randy Montana were playing Tin Roof Revival, and I can't remember if we had played early, and I just know we were standing at the bar and drinking a beer, and Luke started playing, and we kind of jogged back to the back, and he's like, what the heck is going on here, man? This guy, and he was smashing it up in there, dude. It was crazy. And all the Nashville people had no idea who this guy was, but everybody else in the room did. Like all the fans knew who he was and knew all the lyrics to his songs, and so
Yeah, follow.
I talked to Channing and I just started hanging out with Luke. We went turkey hunting and deer hunting. He killed his first deer over here and killed his first turkey with Randy at my aunt's place over there.
Nice.
And so we were all buddies, man. And then that thing just absolutely blew up, man, in the craziest way ever. And as a business guy, I guess I hate to call myself that. I mean, I'm not a suit. I got a camouflage shirt on, but I was supposed to, at the end of that deal, I was supposed to tell Luke that he needed to re-sign with me on a publishing deal. But instead of doing that, I just said, "Hey, man, you just own half this company with me, and let's go forward and let's help new artists, man. Like incubate new artists and find them and help them get out into the world, and then let's let them go, man, with no strings attached, and just help them facilitate either their songwriting dream or their artist dream or whatever it is. If they're great and they work hard, then let's help them do it, man." And dude,
Well, like what you had coming to Nashville, like kind of like your friends that would help you out, and kind of give you a little
absolutely, man,
$40 for gas to get down the road a little bit or whatever. So you're kind of giving them a little direction and sharing what you learned from the industry with them. Which is phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah,
What you're
man.
doing.
And if I don't know anything, I know what not to do. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of what to do now because I've seen Luke do it. I've seen Eric do it. I've seen a bunch of guys do it that are buddies of mine, and so it feels good, man. That's a good place to be, man. And those guys depend on us, and that feels awesome. And when I get to see them do something on, at a live show or on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, man, that's crazy to me. It feels so much better than me doing it. You know what I mean? I just like being the guy behind the guy, and like I love helping them figure out what song they want to be their song they're going to sing for the next 30 years. That's so much fun to me.
So I got a buddy that calls Luke the country music leprechaun. Do you think that's a true statement? You think that's a true statement with the guy? Because everything he's so lucky with everything, man. That's what it was just hard work.
Yeah, I don't even know what's happening sometimes, and I also think, man, like, and as well as I do, man. I mean, that kid 4 years ago was standing in front row at an Eric Church show, man. He was that guy.
He was opening up for Tucker Becker. Well, I mean, last like one of the times I ran into you at one of the shows.
Yeah, he was opening for Tucker on those things, and man, I think he's just a fan. Like, so he remembers so well what he wants from that artist when he's standing in the front row. He knows what he wants from them, and that's what he goes out and gives them, man. I mean, that's at that Tucker show. Yeah,
that's the one I ran into. It was like Brantley, Gilbert, Tucker, and Luke together.
It was Brantley. That's right. I couldn't remember who the closer was. Yeah.
It was a great show. It was so crazy to watch just Luke, because I went and saw him at Joe's Bar, a little private 99 thing in Chicago. And then a couple months later, I saw him open up for Tucker at that theater where I saw you. And then the next thing, he's like, boom, arena. So I'm like, what happened?
Dude, it happened so fast. I don't think anybody knows, man. I mean, it was well planned and well put together, but also just like a rocket ship, man, of awesomeness. I saw today, man. I saw Brett Young had his I think it was 6th number one or something like that, and that guy's been around for a long time. And I was like, dang, dude, Luke is past that guy.
Yeah.
Like, as far as in number ones, I'm not saying anything about Brett Young. I'm just saying,
it's
like the length of time that they've been around. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, he went from being on Vine to being in arenas in probably 3 years. I mean, 3-4 years. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, I just it's insane to me how well he handles it. And I know, man, because I talked to him today, and just about stuff that's going on,
Yeah.
and but he's handling it so well, man. I can't even imagine that, dude. Plus, he's what is how is Luke? Is he 30, 30, maybe 31? Or I can't remember when we just did his birthday not too long ago. I can't remember,
Yeah.
but it's just insane, man, that he's handling that so well and keeping like staying humble and staying centered with him and Nicole and his family and his friends that surround him and stuff. And that's
I know I
tough,
was
dude.
at
That's tough to
Church of
do.
the Gorge last year in June, and that was his vacation, dude. He had his bus, and he went and saw. I guess him and Nicole just went on a little vacation to the Gorge last June to see church play. They took the tour bus and kind of made little stops along the way,
Yeah,
and it's just cool to see that he's still out there doing stuff like that. And I know it's probably hard as hell. 'Cause I know we've all heard the story about Beer Never Broke Your Heart. How you said you were on tour and he was like trying in between like signing autographs because so many people were outside the bus, and that's kind of right where things started hitting for him.
yeah,
And like he'd run in, write a couple lyrics, run out, sign some autographs, take some photos,
yeah,
and all that good stuff. So, but it's just like, yeah, it was just like overnight, you blinked and you missed another number one from the sky.
yeah. It's
So, but yeah,
crazy.
it was
Have I
pretty
ever
cool.
have I ever told you that story about me taking Luke to meet Eric in Louisville?
You did, but go ahead and share that first so people can hear it. I like to hear you
So
share
we
that.
went down to dude, Luke obviously, and dude, they're fixing to they got a giant hit on their
Yeah,
hands on
it's
this.
about number one, ain't it?
Is it not? Well, it should
Should
be.
be. Yeah, it should be like Gainin. I think it was like on its way to being number one.
Yeah. Um. Anyway, he was a huge Eric fan, man, and he had seen us play in Asheville at that little what's that little bar there in Asheville? That's right on App State. When Eric did a hometown show, we went and played with him
Yeah,
and stuff. And
Orange
so he
people.
had seen us, so he was aware of who we were, and I'd actually met him and Rob Williford before that,
Yeah,
and I didn't remember because I was just meeting a guy at a bar,
yeah.
But anyway, so when we kind of start hanging out and we're hunting and talking about music and doing all that stuff, and he keeps talking about Eric and Eric and Eric. And it's so funny. I called Catherine. I think it was Catherine. I called him. It might have been Marshall that I called. I
Yeah.
said, "Hey man, I got this guy, man, and he's just a huge Eric Church fan, man. Can we come to that Louisville show? And can I have 2 minutes, man, on the way to the stage or on the way back or whatever, and just let him shake Eric's hand and say hey to him?" And so we go, man. We we're backstage and hanging. Oh, dude! And on the way into the show, he goes, oh man, all I brought was this PFG shirt, man, and my boots. He's like, people are gonna recognize me when we go in here. And I was like, oh, this fucking guy, man. It's like, nobody's gonna recognize you, dude. Nobody knows who you are. And then sure enough, on our way in, like people kind of recognized him. He's like, oh, hey, Luke Combs. And I was like, oh man, he actually does have some fans. But anyway, so we kind of get on the bus and we're hanging out on the band bus, and then okay, Eric's coming through in 10 minutes, and man, I can see him getting more nervous and more nervous, more nervous. He's getting ready to see his guy, to shake his hand and say hey.
Yeah.
And dude, Eric and Kaz were so gracious, man, and kind to him and sweet to him, and they were kind of aware of like the noise that he had going on, probably a
Yeah.
lot more than I was, and and talking to him about what are you going to do, and make sure and talk to this guy, make sure and talk to this guy. They've always been great about that stuff, man, and I've kind of picked up from them over the years about how to do that and do it in a
Yeah.
nice way, and try to have somebody's best interest in mind, man. And they were awesome about it, man.
Well, I'm
And
sure Eric was a huge inspiration for you too, just kind of be able to watch what he was doing at such a young stage of his career too, and be able. I mean, I'm sure you watched a few of his shows after you guys were done playing. At least
oh
put it in
yeah,
the back
dude.
on that
No, I
watch.
mean we talked about it all the time, man, and
Yeah.
and he would just tell me, how Eric is, man. It was less of have you thought about this, and he just goes, you do this tomorrow. You should be doing this and this and this, and he's like, okay, man, we'll do it that way. And yeah, man, he's great. He's always been great at that stuff, man. And
Mhm.
and hopefully, God, there's a list of guys like that in Nashville who are nice enough to share their wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
with
So you
others.
didn't get your first church cut?
Do what now?
You didn't get your first church cut?
Well, maybe.
You could just say
Let
what
me
you could.
let me
All right.
knock on wood, man. I don't know. I don't know.
For you, I know you guys wrote back in like 2010 together.
Yeah.
So you guys wrote together before, and I know you just went to with the North Carolina trip, which how phenomenal was that, man? How he just kind of he was 18, dude, and just took them
Great,
all.
man.
And I mean, you guys were up there for what, a whole month, and it sounded like he never slept. Like you guys wrote all day and he recorded all night.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just yeah, his confidence of just who he is as an artist
Yeah.
is it's addictive, man. If we had this conversation, I can't remember we had. It's just like, man, here we are, and he's brought the whole studio and the
Mm-hmm.
band and
For
the
a record.
songwriters and just the massive amounts of money that got spent to do the record the way he envisioned it to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an afterthought, man. I mean, I know at some point there was a budget meeting where they go, okay, guys, this is going to cost this amount of money to get this done. Are we sure we want to do it? And he goes, yeah, for sure. Just insane amount of confidence, not hubris, just confidence in what he's doing and the way he wants to do it and the way he wants to get music to his fans and create that music that gets to his fans. It's
Yep.
inspiring, man. It
That's
really
why
was.
let's go to like 10 shows, a tour, and we don't mind spending extra money because we know that's what he wants to do. He wants to go to these places, and yeah,
No
we
doubt,
probably
man.
funded it. I mean, probably half of us, probably the choir, probably funded a few days for sure out there, but I know I'm still trying to pull
I'm
one of the
sure.
sponsors,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate it. It was really nice. No, man.
but
And he also, it's, I mean, him as a songwriter, man, he's insane songwriter, man. He's great.
that's
He's,
why I can't believe you guys have not had a cut yet because it's just honestly with your style of writing and his style and you two together and just seeing you two the chemistry you guys did have back in the early days. Because I mean you guys used to play pranks and stuff like that when you
yeah.
guys were on tour one other fun stuff. And you guys had solid chemistry and kind of
Yeah.
see where you started and kind of like you got your start from Catherine and the whole West Tennessee game. And
Yeah.
so it's cool to see you guys still working together. So yeah, I've definitely been rooting for you to have a church cut soon, man. Because I know
Man, I
when I
hope
saw
so,
you out there
man.
with this trip, I was like, oh, please let this be the time.
I
So
hope so too, man. But yeah, he surrounds himself with great songwriters, man. And I mean, I will at some point. I mean, I'll get one in there because he always gives me a shot, man.
yeah,
He always does. And in his situation, man, it's not. I mean, he's not looking at it like it's the best song wins
yeah,
on
yeah,
every
yeah.
church
Yeah.
record every time. I
I
mean,
mean, look at the
in
last
the real
album.
world of Nashville, there's so many factors of what goes into why this song got cut and why this is the single, but not on Eric's record. It is the best song, man. And it's
Yeah,
like, and it's his and Catherine's vision of what that's going to be, and that's it, and if your song ain't on there, then it just ain't on there, and mine just hadn't been
and
on
like
there.
something like how you were back in the day, and instead of you guys need to cut watching airplanes, Gary Allen's running with it, and you just living or living with back in love.
Right?
So you know, that one, and Gary Allen's
Yeah.
running with airplanes. You got another guy running with Dylan. You're like, how do I compete with myself?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No doubt.
I
No
mean,
doubt.
he's never had to really compete with himself. So
Yeah.
and then he's not like
Yeah. I
losing.
mean, I think on purpose too, man. I don't think he's. I don't think he's. Well, they just he wrote on that Keith Urban song, didn't he? That was out on the yeah.
Yeah, he just
That,
had a new song come out. The name of it wasn't too long ago.
did that
So
that when we were us.
yeah,
Dude, that was a
was that
great song, man.
Miranda, right? Yeah,
Oh,
was that
is
the
that
one?
Miranda had a Miranda
Was that the
thing?
one
That's
that
right.
you already did with Miranda, or no?
I never have, man.
Check that out. So,
Yeah.
who's been the best songwriter that you actually got to share with or write with? I mean, your favorite. Like, if you had to pick one that you could write with every day, who would it be?
Oh man, that is tough, man.
Like, who do
I
you
mean,
feel like you have the most chemistry with lately?
man, that's yeah, it's still tough. Can I name 3 or 4 of them?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Man, I mean, it was a different in different versions of all of these guys, but I mean, I love Derek Rattan, I love Jesse Alexander, I love Barry Dean. Barry Dean's one of my favorites. Tony Lane, uh, Shane
No,
Meyer.
man, what was his one?
Huh?
No, not a.
Tony Lane.
Another rain or
I Need You.
no? It wasn't. He's an older guy, right? Tony
Oh,
Lane.
you talking about? Are you talking about Better Rain?
Better rain. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
Better
thinking.
Rain. Oh
Dude,
yeah,
that
dude.
was that song. Oh,
Yeah.
it's over for me.
Dude, he's got a record that he did by himself on iTunes. I think just Tony Lane, like,
Yeah.
and this kind of demos, and it is one of my go tos, man.
So I'll tell you this. This is kind of like a well, I won't say personal, but back when Eric's brother Brandon was kind of still going through some struggles, we were I don't
Yeah,
know if it was MySpace days or early Facebook days, but Brandon shared that song by Tony Lane, Better Rain, on
yeah,
Facebook or somewhere. And that's when I first heard it. It was when Brandon shared it. And I was like, oh shit. And I started listening to it. Still to this day, I'll listen to that song. Just think of Brandon, just think of the situation. I love that song. It's one of my favorite songs.
yeah. It's a
So,
great song, man. He's fantastic. He's
yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
But, man, I'm just going to tell you, there's so many people you wrote with, and it's kind of, sorry, my mic was a little loud. I turned it down. The people you wrote with in the past, and like, I really do hope on this next album you get your first cut, or at least it's out there because I'm anxious, man. Yeah, I'm anxious to hear what you guys can do together because it's probably dangerous.
We wrote three, I think three songs, and
Nice.
while I was there, and they were all three pretty great, man.
Yeah.
I was really really proud of them. And one of them we got to watch them cut that night,
Yeah.
and it was different, man. Eric's got to he also like he's unafraid of trying something, and this thing's different for sure, man.
Sure.
It was something else, man.
Oh yeah. Well, everybody knows it's never going to be the same with him. I think the closest he's ever had was maybe Carolina to Sinners, but ever
Right,
since then, it's been one more huge step, just another
right,
giant step to
yeah,
where he's had to do. And I think
yeah,
he's definitely headed down the Bruce Springsteen route.
yeah.
So, but enough about that. We're way over time. We did a poll on the thing on our my page where they picked two songs they would love to hear you sing tonight before we log off.
Okay.
So it was "Guy Walks Into a Bar" and "Beer Never Broke My Heart." Did we get
Oh,
those
okay.
two before we log off with you for the night?
Yeah, man. You me do them right now?
Did we get those right now, and then we'll sign off, and then we're gonna get you back on for the after show here in a little bit.
Okay, great, great, great.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's get those two, and it's been man. We could go on and talk probably for another hour or two. Like I said, I had pages of notes here, and I probably covered maybe half. Not even.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, it's dude, that sounds great. So, I want to chat about that song real quick before we go into it. How odd was it for you when you first heard Tyler Farr do that song?
How what was it?
How odd, like just hearing his voice compared to like your voice. Because honestly, dude, I'm not even gonna lie. When I first heard "Guy Walks Into a Bar" on the radio, I thought it was you singing. I was like, "Oh shit, Singleton's on the radio again." And then
Yeah,
I saw,
man. He got in there, and I mean, I think we probably sing a lot alike anyway,
yeah,
But honestly, man, I've heard it a couple times where it was on the radio or it comes on something off my phone or something like that, and I can't tell if it's me or if it's him.
I
Sometimes
think of my dad or something. My dad is still a huge fan of yours. I
that's
know
awesome.
that Throwdown show where he came out a couple times to see you guys, and but I played it for him when I first came out. I'm like, who sings the song? He's like, oh, that's Singleton. I'm like, nope. I'm like, you wrote it. He goes, I didn't sing it. I'm like, wow. He goes, that is the oddest thing, man. So yeah, but
That's
this song.
funny, man.
Go ahead and just kind of give us a little backstory of the song real quick, if you don't mind.
Uh, Me and Brad Tersey and Melissa Pierce uh, wrote this. Tersey plays with Old Dominion, so this is
Yeah,
before that. And he came in that day and said, "Man, I know it sounds crazy." He was kind of reluctant to even say the title. He goes, "I know this is insane, man." He's like, "Has anybody wrote the song? A guy walks into a bar." And so we Google search and look around, and there's nothing on, and and so then we had to make the decision of whether or not we were writing a funny song or a serious song,
yeah,
And luckily, with all of us in there, it was like, well, it's like when we write this dark kind of love song. It feels like a guy walks into a bar and then he meets this girl and they fall in love and then she breaks up with him and then a guy walks into a bar like the circle of life almost, and once we kind of had that, we were kind of off and running and so lyrically it wasn't too bad, man. And then the next day we kind of did a demo on it and Brad played some guitars and I played some stuff there at the office and we turned it in and the next morning, man, our phones were blowing up, man. It's like, oh my God, this is the best thing that ever happened and holy crap, we're gonna get this cut and blah 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 and all this stuff. So I remember Brad called me and he goes, hey man, he goes, they're losing their minds over this guy walks in the bar song, man. He goes, is that thing good? Like we had no idea, It's like you're just doing your job and you clock in, you clock out, and you go home. And so maybe a month later or so, I was playing for some weird thing that they make us do. I can't remember what it was. I was playing at losers, winners or losers, whichever one. I can't ever remember which one it is. And anyway, so Tyler Farr was there, and I've known Tyler for a long time, and so I played that song and got off and got a beer, and I was standing over there talking, and he came over there and goes, "Hey man," he goes, "that last song you played," and I was like, "Oh yeah, man, it's a new song. This guy walks into the bar." He goes, "He might get that on hold," and I was like, "Well, you mean you can have it on hold if you want it?" And he goes, "Okay, yeah," and like 2 or 3 weeks later, man, they cut it and went out and did it. And the funny thing, man, another funny part about that song is he had me send him an acoustic version of it.
Nice.
Because he didn't want to cop our feel of our demo. He wanted to make sure that he didn't have the feel of the demo in the thing. And then when it came back, man, it did the exact same treatment that we did to it. So I always
Blake
thought
had
that
that
was
on
funny.
hold at one time too.
They what now?
Did Blake have that song on hold at one time or no?
Who?
Did Blake Shelton have it on hold or no? At one time.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't like a short one or like he put it on hold and then I don't know. I forgot what all happened with it. But I
I think,
remember
man, like
hearing something.
almost in the same day, it got to Blake or something. I can't remember exactly how that happened. But then I think Blake and Tyler were doing a gig together, and Blake, I think Blake made Tyler play it for him on guitar. And Blake was pumped about that song, man. He was like, "I'm gonna do my whole record like this, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna rearrange everything I'm doing to match this song." And then he ended up just letting Tyler have it, which I thought was really, really
It
awesome.
reminded me of In Keller with Jamie Johnson and Trace Atkins. It
Yeah,
was
exactly.
like the same thing, but it was Jamie Johnson was the songwriter of it, but then Trace let Jamie have it when he got his record deal. It was a really cool
Right.
story about it. So
Yeah.
it was really cool
Yeah.
uplifting story. But hey man, I'm gonna shut up and let you take the stage,
All right,
man.
come on, I'll do it. Joke's on me, and it ain't funny. Everybody but me can see the punchline coming my way. I've heard it so many times I can tell it to the T. Believe me, I can sell it all day. Here goes a guy who walks into a bar, orders a drink, sees a girl that catches his eye, asks her if she wants another. They fall for each other and end up lovers alive, cry all the time, make it work for a little while. Then one night, tail lights fade out in the dark, and a guy walks into a bar. walk and talk and drink and prove a cliche in a corner booth ain't nothing new. Here goes a guy walks into a bar, orders a drink, sees a girl that catches his eye, asks if she wants another. They fall for each other and end up lovers alive, crying, hold on tight, make it work for a little while. One night a tail lights fade out in the dark, and a guy walks into a bar. Guy walks into a bar, orders a drink, sees a girl that catches his eye, answers if she wants another. They fall for each other and end up lovers and laugh, cry, hold on tight, make it work for a little while. One night a tail lights fade out in the dark, and a guy walks into a bar. A guy walks into a bar.
Yes, I love that, dude. It's so awesome, man. That's awesome.
Thanks,
You
dude.
take like the age-old joke where a guy walks in a bar and turns into such a badass.
We couldn't believe that hadn't been written before, man. That's
Yeah, I'm
insane.
telling you. I mean,
That
there's like you think like oh, all the subjects have never been or have been touched, never been touched in the songwriting world, and the one joke that everybody starts off with, the guy walks into a bar and boom, they come out with a song like that.
yeah. I was pretty proud of that one, man. That's pretty cool. And to watch Tyler, man, at the kind of at that point in his career, man, to go out and do those things like that was pretty awesome, man. He's a good dude. I love that guy. I think he's amazing, man. A great singer.
Yeah, and he's so underrated too because I think like his last. I mean, he has had the two albums out, but there was wasn't the one on the second album. So with all the other with all my friends or something like that. I forgot the name of that song, but it's an amazing album. That whole album was just, and I think him and Kip Moore are two of my favorites. I think are really underrated right now.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
I think
No
Kip
doubt.
Moore's gonna. I hope he's on the verge of kind of having another big step in his career soon with this next album. So.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's man, yeah, can we get throw my papers in there. Beer Never Broke My Heart. That was our second one that we got
Oh
voted
yeah,
on.
yeah.
We grab that one real quick, and then we'll sign off with you, and I'll wrap up the show, and we'll get ready for the do a post show thing.
Okay. Takes a while for this old guitar to get there, man. Let me get that. Get in there. There it is. Let's see. I've had a large amount of bass, bust my line, a couple beautiful girls tell me goodbye. Trucks break down, dogs run off, politicians live and fired by the boss. It takes one hand, count the things I can count on. I got a woman creeping down on the road. But long legs broke my heart like diamond rings that put my toes and torn this boy apart. Like an neon dream, it just dawned on me the chords in this guitar. Long legs Carolina, blue jean bed, fire in her eyes that drove me crazy. It was red tail lights when she left town. I didn't know then, I sure know now. That long nights gonna be from my heart. Like things that put my dreams that torn this boy apart. Like a dream, it just don't fade. The bars in this guitar. Long nights gonna be from my heart. Scripping down on a cold neck high skull baby broke my heart. Like a diamond ring that put my torn this boy apart. Like a diamond it just don't fade. The bars in this guitar. Long neck high skull baby broke my heart. Long neck high skull baby broke my heart.
I love that, dude. That's one of my favorites. I gotta tell you a quick story. I think I might have shared this with you before, but when you played the choir reunion last year, someone comes up to me during that song and they're like, "I thought you said there's no covers allowed." Now I looked at them and I said, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "You said no covers, and then they're all songwriters. They're all gonna play original music. That's a Luke Combs song, man." I'm like, "Dude, you know who's singing right now?" I said, "He wrote this song." He goes, "Oh shit, I forgot a
That's
little bit."
funny.
I might even do like
That's
a
funny.
playback with someone that worked for the place. But it was just hilarious. He's like, this is a cover song. I'm like, no. Have you got that though before where someone thought you were doing a
Oh
cover and you're
man.
doing your own?
All the time, man. We still get it. We got it on tour with Eric all the time. It's like, hey man, it's like if you start playing some songs that were yours, man, it might move faster for you. I'll be like, okay, great, man. Thank you. Thanks for the advice, man.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. So, well, man, we are definitely about 15 minutes over time, which is good. Hey, I can't argue. So I'm gonna
Awesome,
go ahead
man.
and give like a 15-minute break, and then I'll shoot you another link at 9:45, and we'll go ahead and do the after show. You cool with
Great.
that?
Sounds good, man. I love it.
All right, man. Well, I'll holler you here about 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes. We'll talk soon, all right, man?
All right, see you, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you so much again.
Oh, thank you, man. This is awesome.
Oh, dude. We'll talk soon, man.
See you, buddy.
All right, guys. That was amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in for that. Everything was just amazing and phenomenal. One of my favorite shows, probably the favorite show. I can't compare it. What's been one of my favorite ones yet? But thanks for tuning in. If you guys are on the Patreon after show, we're gonna go live at 9:45. We're gonna go take a 15-minute break. Give it some people, anybody that want to jump in on it. Remember, for the 3 months, we're gonna be giving. What was it? February, March, April. I'll be giving all the donation money that I give monthly from this from my Patreon to the National Tornado victims. So no, we're not victims. It's like for I think I'm gonna do hands on Nashville was I was looking into that. I was gonna donate the money too. So if you guys want to go ahead and jump on that, we're gonna go live at 9:45 over there. If not, man, thank you guys so much for joining me on this show. I'm gonna invite him back. We're gonna have to have a part two because I have a lot of stuff that I wasn't able to go through or cover. I had clips of songs like I don't know, maybe I'll throw a couple of them on the after show. But listen to this one. Just songs like that. You guys can hear it. I love them. favorites. So we're going to try to get them to play some of these older ones on the after show. So, guys, go ahead and if you guys are going to tune in here, grab yourselves another beverage, hang out for a minute. I'm going to take a 15-minute break. I'm going to jump on the after show. If you guys are not joining that, thank you for tuning in tonight. It's been an amazing time, amazing show. God, just wasn't enough time. I mean, we went 90 minutes, so not enough time. Next week, though, let me grab that flyer. Yeah, I'm not even prepared for next week yet because I'm already also stoked on the one that just happened. So next week we got a good buddy of mine. He's a church choir member, and he is also a cultivator. So definitely something you want to check out. It's going to be we're calling the show the 420 Hangover. So you'll see what it is. Tune in next week. We're going to have a fun time talking. If you guys are going to be tuning in 15 minutes, I'll see you soon. If not, thank you again for tuning in tonight. Awesome show.